So, like I said, Chulainn is a warrior who is primarily played in the solo lane in Conquest because he has more abilities than most other warriors. He's able to outtrade them just by purely poking them down. His strengths in team fights are that he has a lot of AoE damage and a lot of AoE disruption. He can really get in there, do a bunch of damage, and then get out. So some good items to build on him are it's always good to start Bluestone, since every single one of his abilities does damage, and since he can transform into a bigger version of himself and then do even more abilities, you're going to get a lot of procs of this Bluestone pendant damage. And then on that same token, a good starting item for him is going to be Gladiator Shield, since you're going to get more procs. This procs every time you press an ability, since they all do damage once again, but it also gives a little bit of cooldown reduction so you can get those abilities off faster, and some good HP 5. So you're going to be getting 5 health every second from this item. It just allows you to stay in lane, outtrade your opponent, heal up a little bit, outtrade him again, and it's just a great option for him. Now, he is also one of the only gods that can really benefit from an item like Mystical Mail, since he's always in the backline in your opposing team. He'll just be pulsing out a little bit more damage every few seconds. But then some good magical options for him. Like I said, he's going to be in the middle of everyone, so you want items that kind of supplement that playstyle. Oni Hunter's Garb is great since you're going to get more damage mitigation based on the amount of enemies around you. And then Pestilence, you're going to be applying a healing debuff around yourself. So these are some great core items to play with him. Now, if you want a more tankiness in this last item option, one good item is Pridwin. It gives good physical and magical protections. It gives good cooldown, but it also applies a shield once you use your ultimate. So you go in, you ult, and then you'll get a big shield. But if you want more damage, you can go either Crusher, which is good. It'll proc off of all of your abilities, or an even better option is Heartseeker, which will proc on all of your abilities. So with this build, you're very strong, but how are you using it? What are your abilities? Let's go ahead and set to level 20 just to get these abilities up. All right, so we have some of your abilities up. Now, one thing you'll notice is we don't have mana. We actually use Berserk. So he's one of the only gods in the game that does not use mana or have any spells that cost mana, but they do cost this Berserk meter. As you see right now, I'm at 25 out of 20. Our spells cost Berserk, so we're gonna go down by that cost. But if we hit things, we're gonna get some back. So watch me hit some with them. We gained Berserk there because we hit the opposing, or the enemies. You see there, we gain them. So you can really start to gain that Berserk. Now, what's the benefit to gaining Berserk? Well, once we fill up this meter to 83, then we will transform into our Berserk form. Let's actually go to these guys. They'll give us a lot more. But our Berserk form is just a bigger version of ourselves. It has slightly different abilities. It gives us a power buff and a big shield. So we're going to press this button. It puts us at 87, which is greater than 83 Berserk, and we transform. Now our 1 is a line ability. It roots people. Our 3 is a dash that stuns people that we dash through. And then our ultimate is we just do a shit ton of damage and we tremble everyone. So everyone's going to be trembled. We root them, and then we can auto attack for even more damage since we have that power buff. And then it'll only last a set amount of time, and then we transform back into normal Chulainn. Now, what do our abilities do when we're not transformed? So our 1 is a line ability, but it also applies healing reduction. So it's very good in lane trade. So if you can hit the wave and hit the enemy god with it, you can do a lot of clear, but also apply that healing debuff, which will just allow you to outtrade. It'll affect items like if they have a Glad Shield, they're not going to get as much healing from it. And then if they have self-sustain, they won't get as much from it. So you do your line, that's your main clear, so you want to max that first. Your 2, your second ability, it costs Berserk, but it cannot gain you Berserk. So I'm going to press it, and it costs 16, but it does not gain me some. It just makes me pulse out more damage. So this is an item that works a lot like Mystical Mail, so that's why people like going Mystical Mail on him, so you can just exist in a fight and get good damage off from that. But this is primarily in our kit to control our Berserk meter. So if we're getting close to transforming, say that we're getting close to 83 and we aren't anywhere near a team fight, and we don't want to cross that threshold of 83 and transform and waste that, we can press our 2 to come down a bit. See, like right now I'm at 72, I'm getting close. And then I'm at 81. I'm a little too close to transforming. I'm not going to fight anytime soon. I can press it and just keep it under control. Keep it under 83 safely. And that's one way that you can control when you transform. So ideally, say that we've laned, we've been poking down our enemies by pressing our buttons, hitting them and the wave. Just every time we go berserk, we just smash them into the ground, shove them into a wall, do a bunch of damage. Now it's team fighting phase. One good relic for him, since we're most likely going to go teleport at the start of a game, to teleport to our tower, one good option on him is Blink. So this allows us to get into the backline. Give me a second. Let me get close to these Odins. So it allows us to get into the backline. We can knock... Oh, my ult's down. Anyways, we can blink in, ult them, knock them all up, throw the line through them, jump on them, start auto-attacking, and then we'll transform. We can do it all again. So he just has so many abilities and can get so much damage off in a team fight. And then he's just so tanky because he has that shield that he can get out, and he has low cooldown, so he can dash away soon. He can root people. He just provides so much in a team fight and is a ton of fun. Now, one other thing that you can do is you can actually play him in the jungle. So let's go ahead and sell some of these items off. Now, how I would play him in the jungle is I would start with Eye of the Jungle. It gives attack speed, but it also just gives more damage from our abilities to the camps. So it's always a good option. And then I would go straight into Crusher, because just like when you build him tanky, you wanna use the fact that all of his abilities do damage, and he has so many abilities that do damage. You want to use that and get all of these Crusher procs. Is going to make them tick for more damage after you hit them. And then after that, I would go Soul Eater. You got the good power spike to kind of get your early game rolling, and now you can get an investment item like Soul Eater that'll make all those abilities that are doing damage heal you now, which is a great option. And then after that, you can go Brawler's Beatstick. This will add even more anti-healing into your kit and just make it even more impossible for these mid-mages to trade you into box you and other assassins to trade you. And you'll just get so much value in team fights. And then after that, I would go Jotun's Wrath. This will give you more cooldown and just let you jump into a team fight, hit them more often and get more poke out. And then after that, I would go Heartseeker to finish out the build and get even more of those devastating procs from all of your damaging abilities. And then finally, I would keep my starter item, Eye of the Jungle, and I would turn it into Protector of the Jungle. This item just gives so much stats and is great for him. So this is when you play him in the jungle. He has great clear, so he'll do so much damage to the waves and be able to run around and kill a bunch of camps on the map. Let's see, where are the camps in this game mode? Buff camps, perfect. So he has great jungle clear, so let's just spawn like a red buff, for example. So he has great jungle clear. As you'll see, boom, it's already dead. Two abilities, he has so many damaging abilities that he will also get all of that disruption that he would, and he'll do a lot more damage than he would in a solo role. The only problem is you're a glass cannon. You blink in, you ult, you do as much damage as possible, and you hope that transforming will let you survive, because that's your only way to get out, is using that HP shield and dodging some abilities. And then once you transform, you hope that is enough to get you out. But as you see, we're doing so much more damage, and we get all those yellow number procs from our Crusher, from our Heartseeker. But yeah, so that is Chulainn. He's very fun, pretty versatile since he does so much damage for a warrior. But that's going to do it for this God Guide. This is the first one, so if you like it, let me know down below. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you guys subscribe and join the journey. I'm going to try to do this full time. I love YouTube. I make World of Warcraft videos on my other channel, so I figured might as well play my other favorite game, Smite. So make sure you guys let me know if you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit like, and don't forget to tell me which gods you guys want to see in the next video. Take care.